Hello once again, our most valued student. This is my grade 8 learners, and I've thought also of bringing you some revision sessions as you prepare for your final exams. This is after one of the students said, can you please also consider grade 8? And it is one grade that I haven't actually had some videos, but anyway, nothing is lost. Let's try to do a quick revision as you prepare for your final exam. So this is question 5 taken from one of these papers, and then it says calculate the value of x, y, and z. You see that? The value of what? X, y, and z in the diagram below. Provide reasons for your answers. Alright, and then look at it. They give you 6 marks. These are good marks, eh? And you need to be sensitive, not to lose these marks, because they said provide reasons on your answers. We need to provide what? Reasons, and we're calculating x, y, and z. So the first one that we want to calculate is x, and look at the reasons. We start with this line. That's how you calculate x. And how are you going to calculate x? You are going to say here x. Remember, this is a straight line. Do you see the straight line? And what do you know about a straight line? The angles in a straight line. What do you know about a straight line? You must know that the sum of angles in a straight line, they add up to what? 180. Meaning, if you say 60 plus 40 plus x is equal to 180 degrees. Remember, they said you need to provide reasons. So in here, let's have some more space so that we can provide reasons. What is the reason here? You are going to say angles in a straight line. Okay, sometimes angles, you can write it like this. So these are angles in a straight line. Don't forget, angles in a straight line, what is their total? They add up to 180 degrees. So now what you do? 60 plus 40 is what? Is 100. So 100 degrees plus x is equal to 180 degrees. Again, equations, guys. There is a plus sign, meaning 100 can jump and join that. Equal sign means it was positive here, it will become negative. Remember that. So we are left with x now. So what is x? X is 180 degrees. Now 100 becomes minus 100 degrees. So what is the value of x? If you separate with the calculator, you get that x was equal to 80 degrees. Then you get the value of x. So here we can put to say it's 80 degrees. That was the value of x there. Are you with me? So you can take out some of the stuff here that is unnecessary so that we don't confuse ourselves. So that is the value of x. Now the next one is, how do we find the value of y? It's a bit tricky, but it's not a bit tricky. There is a hint. Let's look at our lines. Look at this. They gave you these lines. I can make them continue, but there is something they did. They are saying, look at this. And they gave you that line. And then they're saying, look at this. And what do these signs mean? It means they are parallel. But now, after that, I will give you another line that is very, very important now. Is this one. Are you with me? And then you can see that this is like an N. It's like we've got the shape of N. So if I show you this shape of N is like this. We have got something like this. We have got something like this. We have got something like this. And then you remember what they call fun angles. Let me write them down here. Fun is like this. Fun. See, these are fun angles. I hope you remember. And then the one that I'm going to focus on fun angles is the N. Look at N to say this angle for fun. Remember, these are parallel. So these will be parallel. And then here, the parallel is like this. So for fun angles, that angle is equal to that angle. Still remember? And what did we call them? Alternate angles. So it means even here, this one is equal to that one. provided this line is parallel to that line. Are you with me? So we come here and say same thing as our n. Let's now shape our n. There is our n here to say, you look at that, look at that, look at that. Meaning this angle is equal to that angle. Fun angles, alternate angles. So what are you going to write? You are going to write a statement. Let me write it here. I'm going to erase now this n. So your statement is going to say here, angle y is equal to 40 degrees. And then they'll ask you the reason now. Why is angle y equal to 40 degrees? You are not going to say fun angles. No, you are going to call them, that one is called alternate angles. Now they're going to ask you, why are you saying alternate angles? Unfortunately, they never provided the line, but you can leave it like that to say they are what? They are alternate angles. You can write in full to say alternate angles. Okay. So if I can give you a quick revision here again to say these are alternate angles. What about here under U? U, we have got that angle and that angle. When you add them, you get 180 degrees. They are called corresponding, not corresponding, sorry. They are called co-interior angles. These ones. When you add the inside and the inside, provided these lines are parallel, what must you get? You get 180 degrees. And then when you come to the fun part again, that line, this one and this one, they are equal. So what we call them? We call them corresponding angles, meaning corresponding angles. They are also what? They are also equal. So that is where you get the fun part. Are you with me? Then lastly, we are looking for Z. For Z, I'm going to erase everything that we've been doing for Z. Let's erase everything. Remember, we know now what is Y. Y is 40 degrees. Now, for Z, let's focus on this triangle. Okay. And then what do you know? Sum of angles in a triangle. If I add that, I add that, I add that. We call them sum of interior angles of a triangle. What do you get? You get 180 degrees. Okay, so what does it mean? It means if I add Z, let me take, okay. If I say here, let's erase. If I say Z, angle Z plus angle Y plus 60 degrees is equal to what? 180 degrees. And what is the reasoning? Sum of interior, because it's inside, angles of a triangle. You see, sum of interior angles of a triangle. So now you know we got our Z, angle Z, plus we know our angle Y is 40 degrees plus 60 degrees. It gives me what? 180 degrees. Are you with me? Now Z is equal to 40 plus 60 is 100 degrees. So not equal to, it's plus. Sorry about that. There is a plus here. Z plus here is equal to 180 degrees. Do you see that? It almost looks similar to what we did. 60 plus 40. This is similar to here. The question that we just did here. You see that? So you take 100 to the other side. It will be Z, or Z is 180 degrees minus 100 degrees. So which is equal to what? 80 degrees. So that's our value for Z. So you come here and say, okay, so I see that Z is also equal to 80 degrees. So let me erase this. So you see that But now there is a hint. There is a hint to say, if you look carefully at this Z, you can actually check, you can actually determine why it's 80 degrees. Let me use a different one. Look at it. We can use our line like this. I use our line like this. I use our line like this. Do you see that this is an F that is facing up? It's like this. Okay. And I told you about angles like this to say that angle corresponding to that angle. You see, it's corresponding. You see that these angles are equal. So even here, look at it, that angle and that angle, they form the F. You see that? That's why you see 80 and 80. That was another way of doing it. So anyway, guys, that's how you get 6 marks in there. Alright, let's erase everything. Let's continue to look at the other question. It says, study the diagram below and answer the questions that follow. 5.2. What are we answering? Study the diagram. A, B, B, C, D, E. What shape is this? Guys, talk to me. What shape is this? This is the shape of a trapezium. Alright, this is a trapezium. Alright. But now, that's not important. They are not asking you to say, name the shape. Here they are saying, calculate the length of BC. Whenever you're given such questions, and let me give you a hint. There is the hint. If they give you things like this, 90 degrees like this, take note. Pythagoras theorem is not far. Whenever you see length, 8 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 24, and you see a 90 degrees, just know that the Pythagoras theorem is not far. Now, they are saying BC. Look at this. I'm going to take this triangle, and take this triangle. There is the theorem of Pythagoras. You see that? And I've got this 90 degrees. You see? 90 degrees, don't think far. Always remember, Pythagoras can be close. So what is it saying? BC, you see, is the longest side here. If you check carefully, this is our BC. It's our longest side. To say BC squared is equal to BD squared, I'm quoting Pythagoras, plus CD squared. Do you see that? And then BC squared is equal to, what is BD squared? It's 8 squared plus CD squared is 6 squared. So BC squared will be equal to, what is 8 squared? You can use a calculator once, but let's write this. 64 plus 36. Now what is BC squared is equal to, this will give you 64 plus 36, it's 100. How do you find BC? Don't forget, you square root both sides. So it's square root of BC squared is equal to square root of 100. That's how you get rid of that squared. Therefore, BC is equal to what? 10. Don't forget the units. We are dealing with centimeters. 10 centimeters. So you come here and say, this is 10 centimeters. Theorem of what? Of Pythagoras here. Why did I use that? 90 degrees, you must smell Pythagoras. 90 degrees, even here, even in the second triangle, see that? It says calculate the length marked X. Look at this now. I'm going to use a red one. You are here. You are here. You are here. It's also Pythagoras. It's also Pythagoras. There is the 90 degrees. I now know 10. I now know 24. The longest side. You see that? AC, which is X. So I write it like that. AC, they want it to be X. So X squared, because it's AC squared. I can write it first like this. AC squared is equal to AB squared plus what? BC squared. It's 90 degree angle. Then AC squared, we know it's X squared. You see? You can just substitute. Is equal to, now that AB is 24 squared plus 10 squared. Then you have got X squared is equal to, now you need a calculator now for 24 squared, unless if you good, you good, but let me grab hold of a what? Of a calculator for my side, because 24 squared can give me, so let's do it. 24 squared is equal to 576. And then I'll say plus 10 squared, 576, which is 676. So I've got 576 plus 100. Are you getting that? 10 squared. So x squared is equal to 676. You know how to get rid of that square. You square root both sides. Square root of x squared is equal to square root of 676. Are you with me? Then you have our x. Now what is our x? It's the square root of 676. Square root of 676 is giving me 26. So there it is. 26 what? Centimeters. Don't forget. Calculate the value of x. It is 26 centimeters. That is how you can get this total mark of 12. 12. It's a given. Don't get them wrong. Theorem of Pythagoras on both cases here. This was also Pythagoras. Guys, we've come to the end of our lesson. If you're not subscribed, you are losing out. Ensure you subscribe so that you don't lose out on more grade 8 revision session. Okay? Also remember to share the channel with your friends as well as your colleagues. Thank you.